with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. And I apologize, I don't have my microphone with me. I had to drive a work truck home today, so I got lots of equipment. So I can get out here and get this done. And I left my GoPro with the microphone in my pickup truck, so I apologize. So now I'm just going to take you through the motions on aeration and seed. And I've got a Stinger ride-on plugger, and of course you can, the DIY folks, a lot of you guys will rent one. You can go in with 2 or 3 of your buddies on the street and rent one and get it for a little or nothing. All of you do your yard in the same day. Basically it's a hollow tine core. It's going to remove a core of earth from the ground. That's going to allow water, air, nutrients, oxygen, all that kind of thing to infiltrate the ground, get down into the soil, and going to create a little pocket for grass seed. And it's cool because that nice plug, I like to pull out a 2.5 inch plug roughly. That plug will kind of hold water and moisture, and when that seed's down in there, it helps it stay moist longer. So it's a pretty cool deal. Aeration and overseeding always just brings the yard back to life. Been a long, hard summer, and you can see the test plot looks pretty good. Got a few areas here and there that have struggled because I've been using them as a racetrack, driving my truck in and out, working on this spot over here. But for the most part, it don't look terrible. But I'm gonna bring it back to life with this one step: aeration and overseeding. And we're gonna put a starter fertilizer down too. So let's quit talking, let's get with it. So you can see this bluegrass right here. Oh man, it's coming in good. I got pretty good germination over most of this. I know it's hard for you to see it on camera, but the bluegrass is little teeny tiny. So it's just coming up. The rye back there is looking good. The GCI fescue is looking good. The Midwest is coming in good. That mono stand of fescues back there, and that's actually what's in my hopper now, is that single variety mono stand of fescue back there. And I'm just seeing how it's going to blend in with an existing yard, meaning the test plot. Now I left my drop spreader at home. I left my drop spreader at the shop, and so basically I'm just walking along this edge and dropping me a nice little neat even line of seed right here. And in my corners where I really don't want to fight getting the spreader in the corners, I'll shake out a little bit by hand. And that spreader I'm working with is called a Turfware, and it is super accurate. So you can pretty much drop it right on the edge, but I'm just going a little bit above and beyond here to show you how I do it, because a lot of you watching may not have a Turfware to use. And so what I'll do is I drop the straight line on the edge, and then I come back, shake a little bit out. So now I've got about a foot wide area right here that's seeded. So now I don't have to worry about getting so close to the beds when I'm using a spreader. Obviously, the other alternative is if you have a drop spreader. I have several of them. They're just not here, they're at the shop. So I'm just doing this by hand, dropping this right here on the edge, trying to keep it out of my pine needles. So spreader setting, you can see I roughed this right. I really roughed this up. Look at this right here. Tore it all to pieces because that's in a much different condition than out here. I actually did a double pass aeration out here. Now, for you business owners that use stand-on aerators kind of like that, I have found the most efficient way, and of course time is money in a business and you want to be as efficient as possible. I have found that the most efficient way to aerate a yard with a machine similar to that is to aerate in circles. If you noticed, I made big long circles, and as I made the circle, I kept inching over and inching over and inching over and inching over. And I started my circle on the outside edge and come right up the middle. Then as I moved over on the outside edge, I moved over in the middle. So I'm taking the whole thing from that way to this way. And then I've done the same thing when I crossed it up and went this way. I made my circles like that. Kind of like I grade with that ABI. It's just a super, super fast way to plug, because every single second that those tines are up and you're not actually putting holes in the ground, that's costing you money. At least that's the way I view it. That's costing you money. I want those tines, I want those pluggers in the ground the entire time we're on a property and we're being productive and making good passes with every single pass that we make. So there's you a little bit of business stuff for that. We used to run the straight lines back and forth and go down here and turn around and go down and turn around, but it's just the plugging in circles is light years faster than that straight line stuff. And obviously when you get to a corner, you're gonna make your circle here. And obviously you need to take a minute and clean this up and put some holes right there in the corner too. Now, grass seed spreader setting, if you have no clue what setting, you can see this thing right here has a setting 0 to 6. If I didn't have any clue what to start off with, I would drop back down to like a 2. And the reason I put the spreader down on a very low setting, if I'm new to it, is I don't want all my grass seed to run out before I get done going over the yard. So even if I have to go over the yard a couple of times on a low spreader setting, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with it. At the end of the day, I want the right amount of grass seed on the right square footage. For example, if you have a 10,000 square foot yard and you're putting 50 pounds of seed on it, this is just an example, I want the 50 pounds evenly spread out over that 10,000 square feet. If I got it on my spreader and opened the thing wide open and got 3/4 of the way through the yard and I run out of grass seed, I'm gonna probably be a little ticked. So that's why I always encourage folks to start off on a very low spreader setting. Once you do it a few times, 2 or 3 years in, you'll know that you can inch that spreader setting up, and sooner or later you will know what your spreader setting is and you can set it on that and go over the yard one time and be done. Okay, I know that I have about 12,000 square feet right here roughly, and I'm going to be seeding this at 4 pounds per thousand. So 4 times 12 is 48. So I've got a 50-pound bag in my hopper with just a little bit extra I have from another bag. And so I'm going to spread this out at 4 pounds per thousand. I'm going to go over the entire yard. What I'm going to do is edge it out first, meaning I'm going to go around all my edges, all my outline, my border, and then I'll have somewhere to turn around. Then I'm gonna spread grass seed just like I mow in straight lines. And when I throw my grass seed, it's gonna throw out of the impeller and throw over to the previous tire track. Let's just pretend I've got a tire track right here and I just made a line down through here. Let's pretend I did that. And so when I'm over here spreading, I'm watching that grass seed fly out, and it's going to come and hit right on the tire track. That's the way you do it with a push spreader, a ride-on spreader, any type of whirly-bird impeller type spreader. That's the way we do it. I'm going to go over the yard one time, okay, and get my 4 pounds per thousand. And then I'm going to speed up just a little bit and get me another 2 pounds per thousand and go about 6 pounds per thousand on this bad area right here. I'm not going to change my spreader setting. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm going to change the speed of the machine a little bit and just kind of eyeball it, and I'll be good to go. And there's your little, when you hear me say dog turds, that's kind of what I mean. It almost looks like a dog turd, don't it? Look at that. Look at that North Carolina red clay right there, man. All right, now, I bet you're wondering why the heck do I have a big old bare spot? Well, what happened here was I backed my trailer in here to do something. I can't remember, I was loading up something or whatever from a shed. You know what? That's not what I was doing. When I removed the garden crap, how did I do that? You know, to be honest, I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but I had the trailer back here in the back getting something or doing something, and the trailer drug right here. It goes right into the ditch. You see, there's my ditch right there. And so the back end of the trailer said, whoosh, and just took off a big chunk of ground right there, a big chunk of grass. So now I'm left with that. That's not quite what 10 pounds per thousand looks like. You know, I've already spread my seed over everything. And that's just a little bit far apart, so basically all I'm gonna do is come in here and shake just a little bit more. That's good right there. That's about what 10 pounds per thousand looks like. And that's what I use on fescue for bare ground. And then I'm gonna take my buddy right here, my little weasel, and look at there. Look at it, I'm not even putting any pressure on it. I'm almost letting the weight of the tool do this. And look, my grass seed is gone. It is gone. It is mixed in that ground. Perfect seed to soil contact. I absolutely love it. It's about a 6 or 8 inch area down through here. Really got beat up from the summer. You know, for the most part it looks pretty good, but there are a few areas like this right here that I need to work on. Same thing, I'm just gonna put me a little bit more seed right there so I can get up to my 10 pounds per thousand. And I'm gonna come out here. This is super, super important on the edge of these roads, because what runs down the edge of the road? Water. And so I want that seed mixed in really good right there on that edge, so you know, it minimizes my chance of this little bit of seed on the edge washing down the street. 'Tis the season, right? I ain't talking about Christmas. I kind of wish it was Christmas because I love Christmas, but it's the season of aerating and overseeding, okay? I strongly suggest it in the fall versus the spring. If you don't have time to get it done in the fall, create some time, make some time. I don't know how you do that, but just do it. That way you can get this grass up, running, going good. It can start building that root system throughout the winter time and be healthy and matured off going into next summer. That's why we don't like to do it in the spring, because you plant it in the springtime, it really ain't, the turf ain't got a lot of time to grow up and become big and strong and healthy going into a hot summer. So I hope that helped you. The only thing I got left to do is I'm gonna set my sprinklers out over here. I got a big sprinkler. So you've seen them. It's like a little stand and got a rotor head on it. Super good stuff. I'll link it up in the description. And I'm gonna set those up on the road. And then over here, I've got underground irrigation on this little spot right here. And all I'm gonna do is adjust these heads to where they come out and catch this area. So keep the seed moist. That is the name of the game. Keep the seed moist. Those of you with really big yards and it's just impossible, let me encourage you. We seed, the guy seeded a yard today that was 90-some thousand square feet. Okay, he ain't gonna water that. Ain't no way he's gonna water it. So he sits back and relaxes and lets the rain take care of it. Typically, yeah, that's a big word for what I'm talking about. We get enough rain during the fall and winter for that grass to come on up. I've been doing this 18 years, and it's been a super rare occasion for it to turn off that dry during the fall to where your grass seed won't germinate. So let that be some encouragement to you. I know folks with a big yard kind of wig out about that, and I get it, I understand. My neighbors over here, we've aerated and seeded hers how many years in a row? 2 years. We renovated, then overseeded the following fall, then overseeded last fall. Let's look at it. Looks pretty good to me. I need to get out here and mow it to get my boy to, I need to get my son out here to mow it. It's kind of deep, but it's lush and thick and green. So you can see that was the renovation area, and this was the existing area. And yeah, I watered the renovation when I did it. I spent the extra time to do that. But as far as the typical plugging and seeding, when I did all this 2 years in a row, I didn't water it the first time. And look at it. So there you go. Hope that helped. Hope you learned something. I am going to put down X-Start, the Carbon Earth fertilizer out here. I did green pop here. Obviously that's working pretty good. Things are kicking in gear. So hey, appreciate you watching. And I kind of want to sit here and keep talking, but I know y'all don't like me to ramble, so I'll check you later.